I'll say Governor Newsom, Governor DeSantis, economy. That's the only word I'm going to throw out.
Love it.
You minute, then you go at it. Next topic.
Right.
And I'll moderate it that way, and you have my word, I'll moderate it that way.
I'm all in. Count on it.
You would do a 2-hour debate with Ron DeSantis.
I make it 3.
You heard Gavin make the offer. Your answer is?
Absolutely. I'm game. Let's get it done. Just tell me when and where.
Ron DeSantis, presidential candidate, has agreed to a debate with Gavin Newsom, current governor of California. Let me repeat that. Ron DeSantis, presidential candidate, has agreed to debate a guy nowhere close to running for president at this point. That's right. On Friday, August 4th, Ron DeSantis agreed on Fox News' Hannity show to debate Gavin Newsom. If this seems odd to you, you're not alone. I cannot recall a time in recent memory where a presidential candidate had an unsanctioned debate, unsanctioned by his party, as they are the normal organizers of presidential debates, with a person who isn't even declared and has no plans to be running for office. From my research in recent presidential history, recent being defined as from Ronald Reagan forward, I can't find one instance of it happening. Not one. Not one! This is wholly unprecedented. So why do it? Only one word comes to mind: desperation. Look, Ron DeSantis' campaign is imploding. Now granted, it is imploding in slow motion, but it's still an implosion nonetheless. If you look at his poll numbers, they've gone from a high of 30.1% of Republicans who wanted Ron DeSantis as their presidential nominee to 15.7% on August 6th. To put that plainly, if you have $30 when you walk into a casino and you have $15 when you walk out, you've lost half of your money, just like Ron DeSantis has lost half of his support. Not good. Furthermore, it seems as if the more people get to know Ron DeSantis, the more people don't like him. Donors don't like him. How do you know they don't like him? Well, for starters, 2 of the largest backers of GOP candidates, Rupert Murdoch and his son Lachlan, who is said to even be more right-wing than his father, no longer like him. A source at Fox News close to the Murdochs said they, Rupert and Lachlan, are transactional and can smell a loser a mile away. Why don't Rupert and Lachlan Murdoch, the owners of Fox News, like DeSantis? It's simple. According to 3 sources, they have often complained about how DeSantis is too awkward in public and how he doesn't seem to be able to connect to the American voter. And they're not alone. Tons of his previous mega donors are jumping ship. Ron Lauder of Estee Lauder fortune jumped from Ron DeSantis to looking at Tim Scott. Stanley Druckenmiller of Wall Street hedge fund fame and a Republican mega donor is also looking at Tim Scott. Finally, Andy Sabin, a Republican mega donor, said of Tim Scott, he's the one guy who's running who's got some personality and charisma. His delivery is terrific. By saying Tim Scott is the one guy who has personality and charisma, he's saying implicitly that Ron DeSantis doesn't. That's basically saying he's not likable. I mean, after all, ask yourself, when was the last time you liked someone with no personality or charisma? Yikes! And DeSantis doesn't seem to care for them either. A Republican consultant that knows DeSantis said Ron's strength as a politician is that he doesn't give an F. Ron's weakness as a politician is that he doesn't give an F. Big donors, he doesn't give a shit, cancels on them all the time. Okay, so Ron doesn't care about his big donors, and the big donors don't like him. Well, his staff likes him, right? Wrong. His staff doesn't like him. Honestly, let me tell you, there are too many staff quotes and facts to put in here, so I had to cut it down to 3 facts. Fact number 1, Ron DeSantis' ex-employees created a support group of staffers that meets regularly to commiserate about their experiences working for him. He had more turnover in his office than 70% of all Republican congresspeople, according to Legistorm. Fact number 2, DeSantis directed a Republican Party leader in Florida to fire an employee who had cancer after they were 1 week back from their surgery. Now, I'm from New York, but that's cold, even for us. Fact number 3, Gabriel Sherman, a former staffer for DeSantis as governor, said, I once had to drive him to the airport. We got stuck in traffic for an hour, and he didn't say a word. I don't know, call me crazy, but he doesn't seem like doesn't seem like he's a people person. And he doesn't seem to care for people in general that much. It seems like people are just not his cup of tea. One former congressman who served with DeSantis when he was in Congress said, loyalty and trust, that is not a currency he deals in. It's him and Casey, his wife, but everyone else is like a disposable piece of garbage. Even going all the way back to his pre-political days in college, he went to Yale, and in the military, his teammates, he was a baseball player, and his fellow military officers didn't seem to like him. I'll just leave you with one quote which sort of sums it up. A former college teammate told the New Yorker, and I quote, "Ron is the most selfish person I have ever interacted with. He has always loved embarrassing and humiliating people. I'm speaking for others. He was the biggest D I ever knew," end quote. And when I say the letter D, I don't mean dork. Think human anatomy, the worst thing you can call a person. And there are so many other quotes. So yeah, Ron's not a people person. And if all of those different types of people don't like you, it's not surprising that as voters get to know him, they don't like him much either. So what is a failing presidential candidate to do? Pick a fight. Ron DeSantis is great at picking fights. See the Don't Say Gay bill, or the Stop Woke Act, or the fight with Disney. So now he's picking a fight. But unlike those culture war fights, this is less about culture or religion or policy, and much more about just gaining some attention. You see, in politics, everyone needs attention if you're going to ascend to the next level. It's called breaking through. You need to get your voice heard, and having a fight is a great way to do it. But here's the catch. The fight must be couched in something voters actually care about. So if you're going to have a fight about transgender surgery for minors and drag queen story time, you must couch it in the narrative of protecting children, because voters care about that. And to be fair, it allows someone who just doesn't like these things to say, well, it's about the children. If you're going to attack Disney for opposing your political agenda, you must do it in the language of taking on corporate power, because voters actually care about that. It can't be, oppose me and I'll hurt you, because that comes across as petty. The problem with this entire debate is that it's not couched in any policy at all. All the policy that is done and that needs to be done right now is still in Florida.
Just weeks before the start of the school year, state colleges are facing a, quote, ridiculously high number of faculty openings, thanks to DeSantis' anti-DEI, anti-woke laws, which are driving out educators. While at the same time, his immigration law is driving away large numbers of migrant workers in the state's construction and agricultural sectors. On top of that, Florida is also now facing a problem of seemingly biblical proportions, a spike in cases of leprosy. Yes, I did say leprosy, saints, a situation not made any easier by the fact that two of the top public health positions in DeSantis' administration, responsible for tracking and preventing the spread of communicable diseases, are currently empty.
So what's this big debate with Gavin Newsom all about? Politics. And not politics in the sense of using the media to draw attention to the issues to help your constituents, ideally the American people. No, this is using the media to draw attention to gin up a fight for no other reason than your campaign is failing, primarily because people don't like you. Ginning up a big debate so that Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom can raise their political profile while Fort Lauderdale drowns and California burns, that's not leadership. That's the cynical politics that most Americans hate. And that's just sad. Signing off. Peace. Hey, if you like this video, please smash that like button and hit subscribe. We would love to see you again. So take it easy. Peace.